Shalom. Giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. The ones to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone, I rule well. And as always, peace, blessings, and citations to the tabernacle of David, the hopeful elect, scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, do we expect this devil to ever do the right thing? Is it even in him to judge righteous judgment? And we know the scriptures already say that the soul that is lifted up within him is not upright in him. So this is the type of things to expect with the devil. All right, so you just had a scandal where you had an Israeli official who got caught, playing with the kids. And instead of locking his ass away, they allowed him to flee back to Israel. Because they granted him with the dual citizenship. So he was able to basically use his get out of jail free card, as a small hat, and basically get sent back to his homeland. Without any type of justice, without any type of punishment, no anything. Now, we're sitting here and we're watching how the Trump administration is handling these migrants that are undocumented. He had basically a concentration camp, that's built, all right, within a swamp full of alligators, and putting people in these camps, these facilities, with very inhumane conditions. He's even deporting migrants, and mind you, these are all our people, by the way, the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native American. He's basically going after the tribes with this migration crisis, but he's even deporting migrants that don't even have criminal offenses. Like if you have a traffic violation, or you get caught with possession of weed, marijuana, that alone is grounds for them to basically deport you, get you up out of there. And they're sending them to maximum security prisons down in El Salvador. So those people, they're getting this kind of treatment. But this Israeli official, because he works under Netanyahu, he just, they just, hey, come on. We're just gonna send you back home, man. You got caught. Hey, just go back home. So this goes to show you right there that this devil, he is not in him. Like it says in Jeremiah, can an Ethiopian change his skin? And can a leopard his spots? So are they that are accustomed to doing evil to do good. So anyway, this is from a secular talk, and I'm gonna let him, speak on it, and we'll come back and we're gonna get the scriptures, because this only further proves that these are not the people of the Most High at all. All right, they're the children of Satan. So let's get into it.
Story is so crazy. When I first saw it, I thought, come on, man, that has to be fake. That's just too perfect. This is too perfect. But no,
and this is fair use. Credit to secular talk. This is the platform. So I'm just responding.
Turns out to be true. So look at this. This is from The Guardian. Israeli government official arrested in Nevada in internet crimes against children's sting. So this guy, who by the way works directly underneath Netanyahu, okay, he gets caught basically soliciting a minor for sex. It's pedophilia. And he gets arrested, and then he gets immediately released. Immediately. This is a crime that the punishment is up to 10 years in prison. He gets arrested, he is immediately released. An Israeli government cybersecurity official was reportedly arrested recently by Las Vegas police and other authorities in Nevada, who who were conducting an undercover investigation aimed at online users seeking to sexually prey on children. Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, 38 years old, faces felony charges of luring a child with a computer for a sex act alongside several other suspects who were apprehended during the 2-week sting operation. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said in a statement published on Friday, he has since been released from custody on $10,000 bail after an initial court appearance, records show, and returned to Israel. As first reported by the news site Mediaite, a publicly posted screenshot of Alexandrovich's page on the LinkedIn professional networking platform described him as the executive director of the Israel Cyber Directorate, an Israeli government agency under the purview of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office. Other information online attributes the same position to Alexandrovich. So Netanyahu comes out and releases a statement. He goes, yeah, a little something happened, but he came back to Israel. No big deal. Look the other way. And he makes it seem like, no, he wasn't even arrested, bro. He just had a thing, and now he's here, and it's fine. And I didn't intervene at all in any way, shape, or form. But in reality, he was arrested. We know he was arrested. We have a bunch of people who can attest to that fact. And, of course, now the speculation is, not only did Netanyahu intervene, but you also had the Trump regime intervene as well. That's the speculation. Now, you have some people saying that that's been proven, but the source is a little sketchy to this point. But then again, I mean, logical deduction, it seems like somebody at the high level in the U.S. government would have had to intervene. Right? In a similar way to how Jeffrey Epstein got his little fucking sweetheart deal. Now you have a pedophile getting caught red fucking handed, but since he works directly underneath Netanyahu, they go, let the pedophile get away with it. So let me understand this right.
So that shows you right there they have respect of persons. All right, which clearly the Bible tells you you're not supposed to judge, have partiality when it comes to judgment. All right, but these are supposed to be the Lord's people, though, right? They get the claim to be us while just completely disregarding what the law says. This is Leviticus 19 and 15, and I'm going to read it in the NLT. And it says, do not twist justice in legal matters by favoring the poor or being partial to the rich and powerful. And we know that whole regime over there, that the whole cabal is filled with a bunch of child touchers. All right, is what they do. Okay, Hollywood is ran by them, so it's all rampant all throughout society, and they like to sweep a lot of these things under the rug. If it'll implicate them, they sweep it under the rug and they'll come up with a new distraction to deflect. So I'm wondering who's going to be next on the summer jam screen, you know? Because every time this happens, they got to put up a new face, usually a Jake. So that guy was able to basically get away with his crime and got basically sent back home. And they do this in the Catholic Church as well. But a lot of these Catholic priests, you know, a child come forward and pretty much come forward on their situation with a freaky ass priest. Usually action is never being taken. They'll just get reprimanded from their position, and then they send them to a whole nother location. Justice is never met. So this is what you get under E. All right, he's gonna protect his own, because they all a bunch of deviants. They all a bunch of freaks. It says always judge people fairly, and that is not fair. You know, because you do it, anybody else do what these devils get caught doing, you're getting buried under the jail. Okay, your life will pretty much be over. But them, they get to continue on in life. But it's all right though, because like the scriptures say, you know, when the wicked people, they prosper in their way, the scriptures say not to even fret yourself. We know ultimately the Most High is going to come and he's going to bring justice to the entire world. All right. When he comes back to judge this devil, that's ultimately what's going to ensue. All right. That's what judgment is. All right, let me get was it Psalm 72? Let me go to KJV. It is Psalm 72:1. It says, "Give the king thy judgments, O power, and thy righteousness unto the king's son." And this is really for Yahushai, even though this is a psalm for Solomon, because Solomon, he was Yahushai. All right? But Yahushai is going to come to fulfill what was spoken of by the prophet Nathan to King David concerning his son. That's why Yahushai is known as the son of David. All right, and it says what? He shall judge thy people with righteousness and thy poor with judgment. The mountain shall bring peace to the people, and the little hills by righteousness. So he's going to come and he's going to bring order to this world. All right, let's go to Isaiah 9. It is Isaiah 9:6. It says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." Those are all his titles. "Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David," because he's going to sit on the throne of David, "and upon his kingdom to order it." All right, he's going to arrange it, he's going to order it, "and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this." And like it says in John, the Lord committed all judgment unto the Son. So all these devils that are alive on earth, they're going to answer to the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings. All right. He's going to bring everything into judgment. So these devils, they're not getting away with anything. All right. So they're going to, scurry around like the rats that they are into their little rat holes until the Lord comes and scope them out and drag their ass, man. So anyway, let's get back to the video, because matter of fact, because there's more scriptures on judgment, justice. That right there, touching young children, that's inordinate affection. And they be having them in these little sting operations. You trafficking them around, when the law says thou shalt not basically he that stealeth a man, and if he be found in your hand, shall be put to death. You steal them and you sell them, or if they be found in your hand, that's supposed to be your ass according to judgment. So let me get another one. Let's get Deuteronomy, I believe it's 16 and 19, and it says, "You shall not pervert justice, you shall not show partiality, nor take a bribe, for a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and twists the words of the righteous." And Esau, he doesn't take heed to that. That's why it says in Psalms 50:16, "Unto the wicked, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? That thou shalt take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and cast my word behind thee." So they don't live by the law at all. That's why he's known as the man of sin. He's lawless. He uphold his own laws and his own codes, his own policies. And they get to be hypocritical. They're above the law because they have the power. So let's go back and listen to some more of this.
An Israeli can come into our country and try to diddle little American kids and then gets to go free, no problem whatsoever. And we're supposed to be okay with that. I mean, when you listen to the facts of the case, it sounds like an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, right? It sounds like that, but then you have reputable sources.
Yeah, because they're so professional at being victims that they'll somehow turn it around and make it seem like the man who perpetrated this crime, he's the victim in all of this. You know, that's how good they are at playing victim and using that damn anti-SIM card. The world is sick of that shit, man. And everybody gonna give a damn about those anti-SIM policies. The truth is, and you can't con your way out of the truth. You can't victimize yourself out of the truth. All right? There's nothing secret that shall not be revealed. You know? You devils are being revealed every day. What happened to that? What happened to them rats down there? What was it at, man? I don't know if it was in Ecuador or Costa Rica, one of those Latin American countries where they was, you know, running a similar operation down there, and they got caught. Whatever happened to that, and whatever happened to them? What was their judgment? What was their punishment? Now we saw how quick they were to sweep under the rug that situation in NYC. You know, they had that, they discovered that damn tunnel. You know, nothing went further after that. We didn't hear nothing about that after they cracked down on that. So they just get to do what the hell they want to do. So that's why it's gonna have to be left to the Lord when he returns. He's gonna bring all these things into judgment. And that's why he's coming straight for E, pursuing the Isaiah the 63rd chapter. Let's go to Proverbs 24. Let me start at around the 20th verse. And it's in the NLT. It says, "For evil people have no future. The light of the wicked will be snuffed out. My child, fear the Lord and the king. Don't associate with rebels, for disaster will hit them suddenly. Who knows what punishment will come from the Lord and the king?" Here are some further sayings of the wise. "It is wrong to show favoritism when passing judgment." And Esau does that every day under his court of law. Right? "A judge who says to the wicked, 'You are innocent,'" which this guy, he ain't gonna be brought before no judge. They just letting him go. So it's like, basically, if you let somebody go, you're giving them the credibility of being innocent when they actually, in fact, did the crime. "Will be cursed by many people and denounced by the nations. But it will go well for those who convict the guilty. Rich blessings will be showered on them." All right. So that's why this devil, he's eventually going to have his day. All right. So let's finish this out.
All over the place going, that all actually happened, bro. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. It fucking happened. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. All right, they say, two things you can't escape at Black Hat 2025, the relentless buzz of generative AI and the sound of Hebrew in every corridor. Alexandrovich wrote in part in an accompanying post invoking an abbreviation for large language models and referring to one of Israel's largest cities. The post continued, "The key takeaway, the future of cybersecurity is being written in code and it seems blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares." So that was on his LinkedIn page, and his LinkedIn page has since been deleted. He deleted it. The Israeli news outlet Ynet reported on Wednesday that the U.S. had detained an employee of the National Cyber Directorate for interrogation while he was representing his country at a professional conference. That employee then returned to his hotel and flew back to Israel 2 days later. So that's a lie. He was arrested. He was arrested. He wasn't interrogated. He was arrested. Quote, Israeli officials downplayed the incident, saying it carried no political implications and was resolved quickly. Ynet reported without naming Alexandrovich or mentioning that he had been arrested in connection with a felony charge leveled against him by Nevada law enforcement officials. Quote, the reasons for the questioning remain unclear, but may relate to the employee's conduct. That's a lie, again, from Israel. We know why he was arrested. Ynet reported early on Saturday evening, U.S. Eastern Time, that Alexandrovich was on leave from the Cyber Directorate by mutual decision. The outlet also said that the Cyber Directorate claimed the earlier information about Alexandrovich was accurate based on what had been provided to the agency. Media reported that Netanyahu's office issued a statement denying that the employee in question had ever been arrested. Quote, a state employee who traveled to the U.S. for professional matters was questioned by American authorities.
Because all they do is lie. And the scriptures already tell you about them. The wicked is estranged from the womb as soon as they be born speaking lies. They can't help themselves. Motherfucker got caught doing what's considered a felony here in the state of Nevada. And they arrested his ass. But all of a sudden, he gets to go free and go back to Israel. You can't make this up.
During his day, blah, blah, blah. Again, that's a lie. That's a total lie. Nevada's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force helmed the operation, which resulted in the arrest of Alexandrovich and 7 other men in the city of Henderson, which is near Las Vegas. All the suspects believed they were meeting minors when undercover officers instead confronted and arrested them. The arrested men were all brought to jail after being taken into custody, said the statement from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, which participated in the operation alongside local, state, and federal law enforcement officials. Among the other suspects was Las Vegas Redemption Church pastor Neil Harrison Creasy. Of course, so you have a church guy too. The local CBS.
They, I put up a video on that. All right, hey, you Christians, y'all talking a lot of shit, you know, aimed at us. What y'all gonna do about this problem? I got a real freaky deaky problem in the Christian church. There's a lot of perverted Edomite men. I'll say that. A lot of Edomites, they getting caught left and right. But that's due to his nature. Hebrews 12, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. So he's a 69 God by nature.
A church official told the station that Creasy resigned shortly after being released from jail on a $10,000 bond. Under Nevada law, luring a child with a computer for a sex act can carry between 1 and 10 years in prison. This guy's now free. He's back in Israel. He wasn't even in custody for a day. Somebody made a decision at some very high level, let him go. And they let him.
Yeah, they did that because they got respect of persons. Which you're not, according to the law of the Most High, the Torah, which they claim to be the people of that book. But you see that they operating against that. So these people are clearly the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man. They're not the chosen people. All right, let me get Colossians 3:25. They probably sent them on a first-class flight back to Israel. But meanwhile, our people, just because they don't have documentation, they getting boarded on cargo planes, and some of them even getting dumped off the ship, off the plane, dumping them over the sea, and people witnessing their bodies wash up on the shore. They getting that treatment just for being undocumented. But this guy, he a part of a child sex ring operation, and he gets that flight first class back to Israel. It's Colossians 3:25. It says, "But if you do what is wrong, you will be paid back for the wrong you have done, for the Most High has no favorites." All right, so that's why the Lord, he's gonna come back and bring everything into judgment. All right, and Amalek, all you got to do is read Numbers, the 24th chapter, to know their end. It ain't going to end well for them, man. The Lord's going to come back, the physician, he's going to come back and put an end to this cancer of the earth. Absolutely. It is too much, man. So, I'm going to end off right there. I'm going to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.